Welcome, everybody. Good evening. My name is Vicki Seafelt West, and I'm here with some colleagues this evening to talk about experience-based learning. So I am here on behalf of Ohio University, um, and I'll let my other colleagues introduce themselves real quickly. Nick, you want to
Hi,
go first? Or Nick or Jody? Sorry.
I'm Jody Hazekamp. I am the Senior Associate Director of International Admissions at Knox College.
Thanks, Jody.
And hi, everyone. I'm Nick Paddock. I'm an Associate Director at the University of Cincinnati, International Admissions. Happy to be here with you all. Thanks, Vicki and Jody.
Yeah, and I am also Associate Director for International Admissions here at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. So we're really happy to be here with you tonight. We're not going to spend a lot of time doing the talking, Jody, Nick, and I. We're going to spend more time letting our students do some of the talking so that you can see exactly what experiential learning can do for you as a student coming to study in the United States. But let's just go ahead and get things kicked off right away. And I think I'm going to turn it over to Jody real quick with the first slide.
Yeah, so first we just want to kind of introduce what is experiential learning. And it's really that hands-on real world experience. So kind of taking what you're learning in the classroom and applying it to real world scenarios. So here you can kind of see some examples of like more passive learning is where you're learning the concepts in a lecture, and then more active would be engaging maybe in your chemistry lab. And then the highest, that kind of experiential learning is really being able to apply it in those real world scenarios, maybe doing research and working in that sort of thing. So that's what we're going to talk about today, of these really cool opportunities that you will have at all of our institutions or any institution really in the US of getting that experiential learning.
Okay, and so what would qualify as experiential learning? Basically, it's anything that is going to help you put your learning into practice and actually, give you practical experience. So that could be anything from community engagement to study away or study abroad programs off your campus, research, as Jody mentioned, various kinds of creative activity like being in plays or having an art show. Um, we'll talk about internships and co-ops, and University of Cincinnati in particular has a great track record with co-ops, and even getting involved in student organizations where you can take leadership roles. All of these are different ways that you can gain different soft skills and put your learning into practice by doing this kind of experiential learning.
All right. And as Vicki just said, by putting your learning into practice, you are going to gain a lot of skills. And that's the whole point. You're going to earn a degree and also be able to apply what you learned in the classroom in the real world through some sort of experience-based learning. You can see here we have a lot of different points to make about experience-based learning. I think the biggest takeaway is for you to gain skills and really fall in love with what you're doing, so that you can build that resume, do real projects, right, and develop your networking. So by the time you graduate, you already have a job in hand, and you feel confident about your future with the degree that you've earned from the institution you just attended. Sorry about the overhead. I'm going to pass it to Jody.
All right, so a little bit about Knox College. Knox is a nationally ranked liberal arts college. So, a liberal arts education really means that you have a lot of freedom to explore the world around you and really customize your degree. We're a small institution of about 1,200 students, so you have really small class sizes. You're able to get to know your teachers, your classmates, your teammates, your roommates very well. About almost 20% of our students are international students. So we have a really diverse student population here at Knox. We offer a wide variety of majors and minors in over 60 different areas of study. One really cool thing about Knox is our experiential learning or power of experience grant. And so this is something that all juniors and seniors have access to. And you can use this $2,000 grant to apply it to any sort of cool experiential learning opportunity that you may be interested in. And in addition to all of that, we do offer scholarships and financial aid for our international students. So next, I think Rosalie is here. She is a current student at Knox. Oh, sorry. One more thing. Where's Knox located? So we're located in Galesburg, Illinois, which is in the state of Illinois. We're about 2.5 hours from Chicago. So next, I want to introduce Rosalie, who is a current student at Knox and has been involved in some amazing experiential learning opportunities herself.
Hi, my name is Rosalie. I am from Richmond Hill, Ontario. I'm a junior at Knox College. I'm a biology major and a double minor in environmental science and chemistry. And throughout my past 3 years at Knox, I've already had so many awesome opportunities with hands-on learning. One of the first opportunities I had was in my sophomore year. I got to do a research project in one of my biology classes, and it was pretty much you could research whatever you wanted. So I looked at the deciliation methods for Stentor ceruleus, which is a single cellular organism. It was really cool because it hasn't been researched a lot, so it was basically like starting from scratch, and you could think of any type of research question you wanted to do. You did any type of experiment you wanted, and then at the end you presented your research to the entire biology department. So you can see that picture all the way on the left. That was me doing my presentation, and I got to get feedback from our biology professors and older students, which was really helpful for upcoming presentations that I got to do. Also, something really cool that I got to do this year was in a comparative anatomy class. Our labs were really hands-on, and we did dissections twice a week. So my experience from that was completely changed by the end of the term. The amount of animals I learned about, and it was a lot easier to learn and understand what we were learning in our lectures when I got to see it directly in lab, which is the case for many classes, all science classes, and even outside of science classes. There's always going to be a hands-on experience aside from your lectures. And that's what you could see here for the other three pictures. All the way to the right, you could see a shark that's half dissected. Try to not make it too gory. And then there's also a picture of a skeleton and the process of me building the skeleton. Basically, you were paired up in groups and you were just given the bones and you got to build the skeleton from scratch. That's something not a lot of people have gotten to do. It was a really cool experience, very difficult, and a real challenge way to test our learning. And also something that I'm really excited to talk about that's going to be happening shortly is I'm preparing to study abroad in Tanzania, Africa come January, which is an opportunity I definitely don't think I would have gotten if it wasn't for Knox. There I'll be doing some research along with classes in wildlife management, and I'll be there for 15 weeks and we'll be getting credit, and we'll also be using my $2,000 Power of Experience grant that Jody was just talking about for my flight there and home. Yeah.
Thanks, Rosalie. That sounds really exciting. Thanks so much for sharing that with us. So, from Knox College, we are going to go to Ohio University. And Ohio University is actually one of the oldest universities in the United States. We've been around since 1804, and we're a fairly large sized university, about 23,000 students, with about 16,000 of those being at the undergraduate level. We are a tier one research university. So that means there's lots of opportunities for this type of experience-based learning going on campus in terms of research, but in terms of other types of programs that my students are going to talk about in just a minute. In terms of academics, we've got more than 250 different undergraduate majors to choose from. So just about anything you can think of that you might be interested in, we probably have something to fit for you. Particularly well known for business and communications, as well as biological sciences. And even though we are a larger sized institution, we still have a real small, kind of close knit feel to the campus. And we still have a really low student to faculty ratio. So you really get a lot of personalized attention on campus. And we're in a wonderful small college town, and it makes for a really great home like feel. But I don't want to take up too much more time other than to say we do offer some great scholarship opportunities for international students. But I want to turn it over first to, is Parvinder? I'll check and see if, oh, location. We are located in Athens, Ohio, in the United States, down there in the corner of Ohio. But I want to turn it over to my first student, Parvinder, if he is assuming he was able to show. Oh, looks like maybe not. Well, I'll talk a little bit about Parvinder real quickly. He's had some really interesting experiences here on campus, and even before he came to campus, he had started his own business prior to becoming a student at Ohio University, and then went to work on at our innovation center to help build that startup. He's also had some really great experiences working with internships and also our leadership program on campus. Additionally, he serves as a resident advisor in one of the residence halls on campus. So he's learning a lot of leadership skills there, problem solving, all of those kinds of things. But he's really doing a lot of different activities that are allowing him to get a taste for what it's going to be like to be in the business world once he graduates. And he's just really kind of made a name for himself on campus already as someone who is very entrepreneurial and is going to go really far. But um, I'll leave it at that for Parvinder, but I'll turn it over to Anya to talk about her experiences.
Hi everyone, I'm Anya. I'm from Calcutta, India, and I'm a junior at Ohio University, and I'm currently majoring in psychology on the pre-neuropsychology track, and I'm minoring in community and public health. My first experience with experiential learning started when signed up to be a part of the Margaret Boyd Scholars Program as a freshman. That was one of the opportunities I had to be a part of a group that was really sort of diverse in the way they thought and the opportunities that were presented to us. And that was really my first taste into what being in college outside academics would look like. I am also a student worker at the Women's Center here on campus, and our Women's Center really serves as a resource center for people across the gender spectrum. And we invite everyone to come to our office to spend some time with us. And we have all these programming events that allow us to deal with topics of national relevance, of personal importance, and so on and so forth. I'm also a member of the speech and debate team on campus. Speech and debate has been something that's been really close to my heart because I am by nature very, very interested in all things debate. So having the opportunity to do this, and it's a little bit of a stretch for my major, but this opportunity really gives me a chance to refine my public speaking skills, work on my interviewing skills, and I recently started a persuasive speaking event where my persuasion is based on how we discriminate amongst children of color when it comes to diagnosing for ADHD and other behavioral disorders. And recently, we competed for the second time, as so far as I'm on the team, at the Pi Kappa Delta National Forensics Association competition. It's our national tournament that's held every year in March, and this past March it was in Florida, so it was a really great time to get to go with the team to Florida and compete and place in all these really cool events. On the more academic front, I work in research, and I have been doing that since I was a sophomore. I currently work at the Brain Lab on campus, which is the behavioral research and assessment in neuropsychology. And our lab basically aims to study the impacts of different traumatic brain injuries on the ability to recall and its lasting impacts on memory. Over this last year, I've had the opportunity to present at the Ohio University Expo. I was able to gather a little bit of data, have my own presentation, and I had my research mentor guide me through it. And I was able to present and receive valuable feedback from not only professors in our department, but other departments like biology and chemistry. And I know a communications professor is also there. And they had some really helpful inputs, which allowed me to know where I was in a way and also sort of expand from there and see where else I could go. Over this summer, I was accepted to an internship at Harvard Medical. They have an affiliate, which is the Judge Baker Children's Center, and I spent a lot of time working with children that presented with mood disorders and ADHD. And we spent on creating a summer treatment program for them and helping them find time during the summer where they could stick to a schedule so transitioning back into school would not be too much of a challenge, hopefully. The last thing that I'm going to talk about that I've done so far is I'm a member of the Experiential Learning Student Advisory Board here on campus. Basically, this is a role that I've been newly inducted into, and our aim really is to figure out how we can get more and more students engaged in different forms of learning and how we can implement that across the diaspora students that we have here on campus. How can we make experiential learning more accessible, and how can we make students more interested in pursuing these opportunities that are available to them? So I've had a really exciting time in college with all the experiences that I've had, and I had a lot of support doing that. So I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I got as an international student, and I'm excited to continue working down this path. Thank you.
Thanks, Anya.
Okay, hi everyone. I apologize for all the noise. I'm currently traveling, which we do quite often at international missions, and I'm in the luggage area, the baggage claim, and there's currently a lot of people right in front of me picking up their bags. So I'm from the University of Cincinnati, as I shared earlier, and we are a public university located in Ohio, so not too far from Ohio University. We have about 47,000 students, so we are a large public tier one research institution with a large international student population. So we have about 4,000 international students from over 100 countries at our institution, which makes a pretty large community to be a part of. We are known for our academics, of course. We have many top ranked programs in the country, most notably our engineering, business, design, performance, and medical programs. Some of our programs are 4 years, some are 5 years, depending on if there's co op or internships, as some people call them, incorporated into the curriculum. Um, we are most known for our cooperative education program. We're ranked number one in the country among US institutions and number four among all institutions for our co op and internship program. And this allows our students to not only earn a degree, as we've been sharing in this presentation, but to gain that professional experience they want. For co op, it's interesting because you actually get to leave campus and go work full time for a company for a full semester. For many of our programs, you'll actually work 5 semesters over the 5 years and truly build that resume. What's great is you don't pay tuition when you're on a co-op, and you earn approximately about 10,000 US dollars. So that's great experience, as well as money in your bank account to help pay off the cost of your education. And you can see a short list of your engineering, design, information technology, business, and arts and sciences students all have access to co-op. And we additionally have co-op 2.0 for the rest of our students at the university. We are an NCAA Division One institution as well, so we have all the sports you'd need and excitement on our campus. So I know that's loud, so I'm going to pass it on to our students. They're fantastic. We have 2 students presenting, and I'll hand it over to Yasmine. Oh, I'm sorry. There's the map. So as you can see, we're located in Ohio. Again, not too far from either institution. We're in the bottom left corner of our state. Thank you. Yasmine?
Thank you, Nick. Hi, everyone. So I'm Yasmine McCarrum. I am currently a senior here at the University of Cincinnati. I'm originally Lebanese, but I'm an international student from Dubai. So I grew up there and graduated from high school there before I decided to come to UC. So as you can probably tell by the general theme of these pictures, I am on the pre-med track, and I'll be going to medical school next fall, all thanks to UC. So I have many experiences that I'd like to share with you today, but probably my most memorable would be kind of the most recent. I started this in August, and it's the bottom left picture. And I started as a patient care assistant at our UCMC, so our University of Cincinnati Medical Center. It's top trauma, top in many different departments as well. So I'm specifically on the mom and baby unit. So I work with the nurses, with the physicians, as well as lactation consultants, hearing specialists, and help the moms with their newly delivered babies, or I help pregnant mothers as well. And it has given me so much experience, specifically just working in patient care. Um, of course, I would like to be a doctor, and I will be a doctor in just 4 years, but getting this experience already has kind of put me one foot ahead, one step ahead as well. It's definitely given me something as well to talk about during my medical school interviews. Do you have experience with patients, with leadership, with kind of being on that team, knowing the flow with the nurses, and how you can help out as like an assistant within the healthcare team. And this is all thanks to UC. So typically when we think of co-op, we think of your typical like engineering, computer science, um, biology as well, more of like research and internships, as Fook is going to talk about. He's in the biomedical engineering aspect of this. But healthcare, something a little tougher to do, because to get into the hospital, to get that training, to be able to interact with patients, they usually wait until you're in medical school. But this was the first semester that UC launched its healthcare co-op, essentially. And so I was part of that first class, and it has given me so much experience. I'm like directly in the field and directly where I want to be, since I do want to specialize with children later on. Going to the right, so I started volunteering at Cincinnati Children's my first semester of my first year here, so about 3.5 years ago. And I'm still doing it to this day. I go in every Friday. And so I'm specifically up in the NICU, so the neonatal intensive care unit, and I'm a cuddler up there. Um, that has just changed my perspective on life. Just generally, it hasn't taught me much medically or scientifically, as you might want to say, but it has definitely made an impact on my life. And all these experiences, so other than the co-op, but every experience on the right hand side of these pictures, things that UC has helped me gather, but also taking the initiative to go out, yourself. It's up to everyone. We have so many students here, but we also have so many advisors, and so many people know someone else. And so you can grow a very, very large network here at the University of Cincinnati. Even though it is such a huge institution, I initially thought coming, oh, it's gonna feel like a lot. There's gonna be just so many people, and you're gonna get lost in the shuffle. I was worried about that. Like my high school graduate class was about 94 people. So we were typically small. And so that's what I was used to. But it almost felt like the complete opposite. My Arabic class right now, it's me and another student. And my biology lab, we have about 20 of us. And so it feels like the school just shrunk down as you progress through the years, which is amazing. So another picture over there, those are my two, I would call them my second home. So Cincinnati Children's and UCMC. I spent a lot of time at the hospital helping out. And one is my job and one is a volunteer opportunity. But on the right there, I've also gone experience shadowing different physicians. So I've shadowed several neonatologists. That's my specialty of interest. Pediatric neurologist, anesthesiologist, surgeons, just to name a few. And they've all shed a different perspective on what it means to be in the healthcare field. And that middle picture is we were actually practicing our stitches in our seminar portion of the class of this co-op. So we spent about 20 hours a week in the hospital, which is what I previously mentioned on being in the unit. But then we also spend about 3 hours a week in a seminar class where the professor, the leader of this course, brings in physicians to talk about something specific. We work on resume skills and other personal professional relationship skills as well, which has helped us a lot. It's almost in conjunction with getting that hands-on experience in the unit. We kind of come back and reflect and get to see our classmates, because we're on different units, and And so it's kind of a nice like collection time. We feel like we're still part of the community. We're not just sent out and that's that. They still want to follow up on us, which is amazing to do something like that and still make the time to come together and support one another because we're all here for one another at the end of the day. The top right, actually, everything is through a laptop nowadays. So once COVID broke out so I had to go back home. My parents were in Dubai at the time. And so I went back there and, right, I couldn't be in the NICU. I couldn't be volunteering in that capacity. And so I really wanted to help in one way or another. And I found out about the Cincinnati Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. And just by chance, I applied to be a volunteer there, and since everything was virtual as well, and I'm still a broadcast host at the association. So I hold weekly podcast episodes, as you might say, about every week, every other week. And I essentially, travel the world virtually, just through different articles, through different books, and through different medias that I'm able to read. Just because someone might not be able to, let's say, like read for themselves, I want to be that person they hear at the other end of this whatever device that they're using, and they get to learn. I think we all have the opportunity, and we should all get the opportunity to learn one way or another, and to just I've been raised very internationally and globally, especially living in Dubai, and we have a huge expat community over there. And so just kind of bringing that with me over here has definitely kept me grounded as well. And there's no shortage of things to learn, I believe. So that's definitely something I've added on to the side of course, volunteering, now having the job. And of course, I also work in the international admissions office with Nick and Fook and with several other ambassadors over the years. And that has given me experience as well as a different perspective on, as a high schooler coming in, especially international high school students coming into the university, and kind of any adjustments they might need to make or things on our side that we can do better for them, that communication, and which I think is really, really important. So I've appreciated everything I've done here at UC, and a little bittersweet to be graduating in May, but yes.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Yasmine.
Of course.
I appreciate it. We'll pass it on to Fook.
Um, Hello everyone. My name is Phúc and I am a third year biomedical engineering student at UC. I'm also minoring in computer science and I'm an international student from Vietnam. So as Yasmine has explained, for engineering, we do have the co-op program as compulsory. On the image, as you can see, this is my first co-op at Washington University in St. Louis. It's actually a research co-op where I did my research on projects about using AI to analyze brain MRI images. And I would say I really enjoy the co-op program at UC because I have a lot of opportunity to actually apply my knowledge to the work that you can work on. And so for the next co-op that I will do, it will be at Cincinnati Children's, the same place that Yasmine is working, and I will work in a project that just on genomic data analysis. um, and so I would say that for my time at UC, the co-op really helps me both personally and professionally. For personally, first of all, for co-op, you can actually earn some money, which is very valuable because on the co-op semester, you don't have to pay tuition, but at the same time, you work full time, so you earn a lot of money that can compensate for your future like academic semesters. For professionally, first of all, I make a lot of connections from my co-op, and they become my lifelong friends. And also, you will learn a lot of important skills, the skills that you can put on a resume that you can easily refer to when you look for your full-time positions after you graduate. So, and as you already know, UC is co-op is one of the top in the nation. So if you are looking for a position like a major in engineering, then the co-op will really stand out for UC. So I really recommend that. Yeah, that is my part.
Great. Thank you, Fook. And thank you all so much for joining us this evening. And it looks like we're at time, but appreciate you joining us here. And I hope that was informative to you. Jenica, is there anything else we need to address? Okay, I think that we need to wrap it up. Everybody have a
Thank
really
you
great
all.
evening. Thank you.
Thank you.